bitch. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend that we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get a decent card. We get 4 games in the NBA. And we're gonna have a little bit different of a order today because we have 4 different sports we're gonna talk about, Tim. We're gonna start with the 4 games in the NBA because we always start the NBA, and then we're gonna move to the first 4 games. I would like to cover more March Madness on the ESB show during these during the tournament. Which does that mean there will be a couple longer shows? Yeah,
maybe night shows with them might be working.
Maybe night shows could be a look as well. But yes, I would like to go over more college basketball for the tournament, just because I think it's 67 games.
Something like that.
Over a couple weeks. I think we can add a few into our schedule. I know it'll get very, very busy here in about 9 days when we have opening day, we have NBA, we have NHL, we have March Madness, we have a lot. And the shows are going to be a little bit longer during these little transition times, and we're going to have to figure out timing and stuff like that. But with that being said, before we get into the recap, quick reminder, and maybe Tim will put it in the chat or I will in a minute. The ESB Bracket Challenge. If you guys would like to participate in the ESB Bracket Challenge, the link to that is in the description of the live stream. I think Tim might be throwing that link in the chat as well. If not, I will in a couple minutes.
Yeah, sorry. I was
you're all good.
Putting up a couple on NT plays.
You're all good. And the password to that is ESB. If you guys are brave enough to join the...
If you use the link, you really don't need the...
you don't need it?
You don't need the password.
You don't need it. Okay. If you use the link, then you might not need the password. If it does ask for a password, it is ESB. The winner gets a prestigious Earle Sports Bets t-shirt. So I figured it'd be a fun way to go after March Madness. I've already moved on the first 2 games, and I've beaten line movements on both of them. So we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, quick recap of yesterday and then this morning as well. In the NHL, it was a 2-1 day, so a nice profitable day there, 2-1 up a unit. The New Jersey Devils get the job done against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who have now scored 1 goal in their last 3 games.
Yeesh.
I told everybody that the regression was coming for the Columbus Blue Jackets, that they've hit a wall, and they're going to start losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. And yesterday, I just went back to the gift that keeps on giving, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Fade, fade, fade. Until further notice, we're fading the Blue Jackets. It's just, I'm going to keep doing it. The Tampa Bay Lightning puck line gets the job done. A 2-0 win. A shutout for Andrei Vasilevsky as they cash the even money puck line there. I believe that puck line went up to like minus 130 or something along those lines. Minus 120 range. I saw the Lightning closed around $3 favorites in that spot, and then they were on $2.50 when I bet the puck line. And then the one game, I didn't mind taking a shot with Calgary. It is what it is. They lose 6-2. I thought plus 185 to fade the current form of the Leafs was worth it. I would make that bet again. So 2-1, up a unit in the NHL. 2-1 up 0.9 units in the NBA. My only loss, and I kind of thought I was screwed by halftime, and actually went to overtime because the Rockets absolutely dominated the third quarter and basically erased a 21-point deficit in the third quarter and ended up going to overtime, winning by 7. I laid the 15.5 against Philly. Oops. But then my other 2 plays, Sacramento minus 2.5. Nice little winner there. And then one play that I saw it and I was like, crap. I saw this line, or I didn't see the line actually. Now looking at it, oh wow. If If CLV was a thing that they graded on, I massively failed the Nuggets test last night. I bet them plus 4.5. It went from a 4.5. They announced Murray and Jokic were both out. It goes to an 11.5. They went outright by 9. The NBA, everybody. Never in doubt. Nuggets plus 4.5. Felt great about the bet the entire time. Did not have any doubts. I woke up to that result, so I didn't care. Overall, profitable day yesterday, and looking to hopefully do the same today.
It was. I think it was a good day on the site.
I forgot to recap one more thing. Sorry. Started off this morning with a split. The Dodger Cup game. I had the first 5 under 3.5, which came through barely. Won that one by the hook. One thing that I noticed, and I paid attention to the game, they pulled Shota Imanaga after 63 pitches and 4 no-hit innings.
Why?
I don't know. You want to know what really frustrated me there? Ben Brown came in and got the first out, walked Pages, and then it was a hit parade after that, and the Dodgers scored 3 runs in the 5th. I wanted to slam something. You take out my cap. One thing I get pissed about is when my cap is perfectly spot on, and I still get it wrong. I said Shota Imanaga was going to shove today, and shove he did. They didn't bring up a slapdick reliever. That would have been a double winner to start off the MLB season for me. So that was frustrating. I just wanted to mention that as well because that also did happen. This morning, I did pay attention to. I think I woke up around the 3rd inning. So
I woke up at the 8th inning.
Yeah, I had an 8 a.m. class, so I was able to pay attention to that throughout class a little bit. But beyond the point. Winning day yesterday. I'm starting off down 0.2 units. It could be worse. We will be capping tomorrow's game or tomorrow's morning's game, which will be the debut of Rookie Sasaki, which I don't know what to think about Rookie Sasaki yet. I think he's a fade in the beginning of the season, but that's just me.
I would agree. Yesterday was a good day on the site. If you don't count the Cubs, you got the Cubs as today. It was a 3-1 day on the site. Your one loser, Nick, was your Flames plus 180. Not a bad thing. Your Lightning puck line and your Devils got there. Would the Devils puck line would have hit? No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
And then I had a never in doubter, Nick. Nuggets
Money
plus
line.
155 money line.
What did they close that money line wise?
4-1.
Oh.
Yeah. I almost put him back up, but it is what it is. But it was a good day yesterday, 3-1. Nuggets were my only play yesterday. Just like I only have one NBA play today. But I do have we do have 3 plays now up on the site for college basketball. So because I went and I grabbed a couple NIT totals.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't have any NIT sides that we liked.
No, I had a couple of totals that I liked, so I went with those. So there you go. But Nick, go ahead and say hi to the chat while I go and quickly set up a package.
There we go. What's good, Markel? What's good? Yes, and this is the link down in the description below for the bracket challenge as well for those who want to participate. What's good, Coyote Picks? Brad in the house. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Nick. How are you guys? Doing good. Doing good. Stupness. What's good, Lex? What's good, Lex? I messed up. I accidentally typed in a asterisk there instead of a. There we go. Want to get our day started though, where we have the we'll get started. The Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. We have the Hawks or the Hornets the Hawks 6-point favorites in this game. Total 236.5. This line opened up at a 4. Within a couple minutes, it was a 5, and then it went to a 5.5. Then it went to a 6. So we do have a line move towards the Hawks here pretty swiftly. It did get up to a 6.5 at one point before some buyback. That is one thing to keep in mind. But and this line opened up at a 239. It's down to a 236.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where I am still on college basketball. All right, cool.
Good job.
Hey, I was looking at the market movements between Alabama State and San Francisco. 58% of tickets, 51% of the cash on the Hawks. The line's moving slightly towards them. 73% of tickets, 71% of cash is on the over here as well. The Hawks are coming in off of a loss against the Brooklyn Nets as 6.5-point favorites. They have now lost back-to-back games. They're currently 7th in the East. So I think they're pretty safe at the play-in spot. And they're not catching Detroit. So they're really just playing for home court advantage in the 7-8 matchup.
Yep.
On the flip side, the Hornets are playing for Cooper Flag.
If he decides to go to the draft.
Watch. Cooper Flag gets drafted number 1 overall to the Hornets. He's like, I'll stay at Duke for one more year. You know what? That doesn't sound like a bad idea. The Hornets are coming in off of a just embarrassing loss. But, I mean, how many...
It's the Hornets. How is it an embarrassing
123 to 88, you lose by 35 points. I don't care who you are. A 35-point loss is a bad loss.
To the Clip... No.
However, I was on the Clippers laying the points in that game. I almost doubled up on the Clippers laying the points in that game. But they're back out. The Hornets are back after a 4-game road trip. There's zero chance I'm taking the Hornets in this spot. So it is Hawks or pass, but I'm okay on this one.
It's Hornets or pass for me, but it's a pass. Like you look at the two sides. I will say the Hornets are not technically mathematically eliminated yet. Neither are the Wizards. But nobody in the East is because the East is just a shit conference. Because if the Wizards and the Hornets were in the West, they would already be eliminated. But no, this is a pass game. I got, to be honest, there's 4 games today. I like 1, and it will be in a couple games. But I got 1 play in the NBA today, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in another one, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Rapid challenge. What do you mean rapid
challenge? Bracket.
Brackets. But it's.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go to this one, Nick, which you know me.
Yeah, we have the Boston Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets. These two teams just played each other. It was a win for Boston, but it was a close game. Did cash with the Nets in that spot plus the 10.5. Now we head back to Boston. This line opened up at a 13.5, still a 13.5, so actually no line movement in this game. Actually 3 cents of line movement, my bad. It's gone from 13.5 plus or minus 110 to 13.5 minus 113. Line opened up to 17.5 down to a 213.5 in this one. Here's 49% of tickets, 63% of the cash is on the Brooklyn Nets, and those lines moving ever so slightly towards them. 95% of tickets, 94% cash is on the over here as well. Now there's a couple angles you can take from this one here. Well, it's the Boston Celtics off of a win. So that's always the spot there, even though these two teams just played against each other. And it was a close competitive game, so maybe this is the one where the Boston Celtics blow them out. On the flip side, the Brooklyn Nets, their last game was a win. And it was a win against the Atlanta Hawks. They were 6.5-point dogs. They've covered in 4 of their last 5 games. They've been a decent dog. My first thought was maybe backing Boston. But I think this number is a little too wide. And then also I don't want to back Boston after a win because they're after a win record ATS wise is putrid. So yeah, this is another pass for me. I don't know if I'm going to get involved with any NBA today. That's actually there might be one spot I'm interested in with the team that I believe just had their 16-game winning streak snapped. So maybe that's something to look at.
I didn't realize that one. Yeah, I might be interested in the last 2 games then.
And then, yeah. Other than that, I don't know if I'm getting involved in much NBA today.
Is it okay if I'm quick with this one? I'm not having zero interest. This is a Brooklyn Nets team that, I mean, they're 6 games back for the 10 seed, so they're not getting there. And this is a Celtics team that's 7.5 games back of the Cavaliers, and they're 5.5 games up. 5.5 games up on the Knicks. They're not going anywhere. They're not going up. They're not going down. There's no motivation for them. It's Nets or nothing, but not anything I need to get involved with at all.
I'm good.
Rockets are off today, and the Astros is going to be playing. Astros are playing a meaningless spring training game. But yeah. And I hope the Rockets start losing because I want the Nuggets to get that 2 seed. What about the Marlins game? Spring training? We're not betting spring training.
I haven't capped spring training. The next Marlins game I'm going to be looking at is first 5 and full game under against Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
That game is going to be pure cinema for baseball enthusiasts.
Yes. These games are ass.
They very well are.
The first 2 are. The second 2 actually look like fun.
Where we have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Golden State Warriors. This is an interesting line because last night this was -2, 2.5 for Golden State at the opening line, and overnight it's flipped, which tells me maybe we have some players sitting out for Golden State. With this line going from 2.5 Golden State favorites to 2.5 Milwaukee favorites. Line opened up 233. It's down to a 228. So we do have a move towards the under here as well. We have 71% of tickets and 60% of the cash is on the Warriors. This line's gone from dog to favorite for the Bucks. But I have a feeling this is not market related. I have a feeling this is injury or wrestling related.
Curry is game time decision tonight.
Yeah, okay. So Curry's not playing tonight. Got it.
But Giannis is also a game time decision. So is Lillard.
That's a headache. It is an absolute headache. I think if they rule out Curry, I'm more interested in Golden State.
I feel like the line move has already kind of told us they've ruled out Curry most likely.
Kind of, yeah. Well, I want to see if he does officially get ruled out, what this number turns into.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'm going to pump the brakes right now, and because right now, just if everybody's healthy and this market move is the way it is, it's Bucks or no bet. But obviously, this is probably because of injury, and if Curry gets ruled out, maybe I can get 3.5, 4.5 with Golden State. So I have a feeling they put this number about halfway, where it's going to move another couple points if Curry is ruled out.
I took the Golden State Warriors and I took them outright. That's what I did. Plus 143. This is a Warriors team that I think is going to bounce back after a loss last night to a half rostered Nuggets team. And that snapped their 7-game losing streak. I'm going to take bounce back spots today. The first one is taking the Golden State Warriors at plus 143. So I'm going to start off my night Golden State in this one.
Yeah. Head back to the chat and we'll get into the final game for the NBA.
Yes. Should I go with the over or the under? I don't. If you're talking about today, we don't know. We did not cap the spring training games with NBA going on, with NHL going on, with college basketball going on. No, we did not back. Bet spring training. Yeah, there you go. The Warriors were close to coming back last night. I don't really think they were, but that's just me. Let's keep on rolling, Nick, and I'm going after this game too, Nick.
Yeah, this one's interesting. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the LA Clippers. We have the Cavaliers minus 3.5. It opened up at a 3.5, got up to a 4.5, back down to a 3.5. So really no line movement in this game.
You see 3s and 4s everywhere. 3.5s and 4s.
Yeah, it's 53% of tickets, 52% of the cash is on the Cavaliers. So the line move towards the no line move makes sense because I mean it's kind of a 50-50 split. So that's kind of something there. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers coming in. Am I reading this right? They lost a basketball game. They snapped their 16-game winning streak snapped as 10-point home favorites against the Orlando Magic. Now, do they bounce back in this game? Is the ultimate question. We have the LA Clippers, who are off of a dominant win. Let's ignore the fact that it was against the Charlotte Hornets, though. So there's that. But for me in this spot, I'm going to take Cleveland as my only NBA play for today to bounce back after having their winning streak snapped. Would not surprise me to see them go back on another winning streak, or this could be the bubble burst game. So, but I'm gonna lean more on the side of I'm gonna trust Cleveland to bounce back, and I'll lay the 3.5 with them here on the road.
Go for it. I'm on the same page. When you go and you lose a game after winning how many games in a row? Yeah, I'll take you in that bounce back spot, especially against a Clippers team that I'm not really super high on. I know a lot of people think that they might be like a sleeper team. I'm not going to buy in on the Clippers. They are currently in the 8th seed. They're a game back of Golden State and of Minnesota. So they actually have something to fight for, but I'm just not interested in this Clippers team. I like the Cavs here, a bounce back spot. Even though the Cavs have I feel like they pretty much clinched the 1 seed at this point.
I mean, that 16-game winning streak did them wonders for that.
Probably good chance. I went with the Cavs as well in this game.
There you go. Head back to the chat. We could talk some March Madness.
I don't think they'll ever let that happen again. Warriors early. Clips team total under. And they were trailing by 7 at one point in the 4th, but the Nuggets were hitting behind the arc. Hey, that was beautiful to see last night.
Yep.
Love seeing my Nuggies. All right, Nick.
The matchup that everybody wants to talk about, obviously. We are looking at March Madness. We have the first 4 matchup here between the St. Francis, Pennsylvania Red Flash taking on the Alabama State Hornets. We have the Hornets anywhere between 3.5 and 4-point favorites in this game with a total of 138.5. If I can type right, not 13.8.5. It's 138.5. Let's get that real quick. There we go. Let's take a look at the line history. We'll take a look at the cash flow. See here. This line opened up with Alabama State around 3.5, got up to a 4, back to a 3.5. So really not too much line movement here. It opened up at a 139, got up to a 141, back down to a 138.5. So we do have a move towards the under here as well. I know neutral site unders are definitely a thing in March Madness when we take a look at these games. Now, I think that's more first round than second round, and this is obviously a first round. This is the only game they'll be playing in Dayton. The winner of this matchup will play the Auburn Tigers in the next game, which I will probably be taking the 16 seed for, at least spread-wise. We have 54% of tickets and 60% of cash on Alabama State. The line's not really moved. 65% of tickets, 56% of cash on the over. The line's moved towards the under. I think the under is probably worth a look in this game if you're looking to bet a total. I have bet a side in this one here. One more thing before I get into the side pick, because obviously we do have our power rankings that we've used all season long. March Madness, the cap's going to be a little bit different. The power rankings are going to be a part of it, but I'm also going to look at cash flow. I'm also going to look at line history. I'm also going to look at a few other things. I have this game around a 2.36 was our projected number for this game. So at a 4.5, I saw value on the Red Flash as well. Give me St. Francis. They are 16-17 this year. They finished 4th in the NEC. They won the NEC tournament with a win in Central Connecticut State, 46-43, as 11.5-point dogs in that game there. Alabama State, they finished 5th in the SWAC. They went through their tournament against Texas Southern, Grambling State, and Jackson State. They won 60-56 to capture the SWAC crown there against Jackson State. And I know a lot of people are going to look at the St. Francis team and they're going to see 16-17 and think, how the hell did this team make the tournament? But this team's red hot heading into the tournament. 6 straight wins heading into the tournament here. Obviously, the last 3 were in their tournament against Wagner, LIU, and against Central Connecticut. But they also beat Chicago State, Fairleigh Dickinson, and Lemoyne before that. I know, just a murderer's row of teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. But yeah, I'm on St. Francis here. I got plus 4.5. And in March Madness, spoiler, when I bet a dog, I'm going to have a sprinkle on the money line. That's just the way it's going to be for every single time. I got plus 160 for half a unit there. Obviously, the bigger money lines are going to be smaller bets. And the normal money lines are going to be half unit bets. That's the most I'll go on a money line, unless it's just like a plus 105. Then I'll just go a full unit on it. But yeah, I'm on St. Francis here, plus 4.5, minus 115, plus 160 on the money line.
I'm starting to see some 3.5s. So the line's moving in our direction.
Love it.
And I'm with you on St. Francis. There was a little bit of spreadsheet value on it, but wasn't crazy. I just like the St. Francis team. They've been playing some good basketball as of late, and the fact that the line's moving in that direction, everybody could see the one team is over 500 and be grabbing them, and then the line's still moving against that. So I'm jumping in on St. Francis. I think they have a shot to win out, right?
Yeah.
And then get blown out against Auburn.
Or they can do a Fairleigh Dickinson a couple years ago.
No, just no.
I remember I cashed with Fairleigh Dickinson a couple years ago, money line. I obviously joke around when I do this, but I mean, if I'm going to say any 16 seed is going to win outright, it's going to be St. Francis. It's going right back to an NEC team too.
Okay. I joined the bracket challenge. Let's go. Yes, we have let's see, how many people are in it? 8. 8 people are in it so far. So go ahead, get your guys in so that you guys can play with it too. We want to try to get as many people in as possible. And it's free. And it takes all of 5 minutes to build your bracket, unless you really do extensive research, but there's no excuse not to do one. Go ahead, join it, get in there. Hell, Destiny's even going to get in there. So come on. Under in this one. Yes, we could see it under. Warriors money line, yes. Alternative spread. I mean, money line in general, yes, that's fine. St. Francis, yes. I have in my Final Four Michigan State, yes. UConn, I kind of like UConn. Although I have St. John's, but
I do as well.
I have UConn beating Florida. I like that. Tennessee, yes, and Duke. I have Arizona. But yeah. You also joined the bracket. Everybody should join the bracket because if you happen to win the bracket, then you get a free T-shirt. I don't see the
There's
negative.
no downside in it. It's a positive EV move at the very least. You join right now, it'll make 9 members. You have your expected value is 1/9 of a T-shirt. Like, it's free to enter.
I love that.
Expected value. It's all about the expected value.
All right, Nick. I know we're going to be against each other on this one.
Yes, and this is something that I've been looking at for a while because I saw the chance of this happening. I didn't think it would happen, but I saw a chance because I know the games that the council likes to play, especially with the AD of one of these teams being on the selection committee as well. But we won't get into that. We probably will. This line opened up at a 4.5, got all the way down to a 3.5 at one point, but it's back up to a 4.5 now. Did touch 5 for a minute too. This line opened up 143. It's down to a 142. I kind of want to take the under in both games as well, to be completely honest. But I don't feel like doubling up on every single game right now. 78% of tickets, 72% cash on the over. And this line's moving towards the under. This does feel like unders. Maybe it's first half unders for both these games as well. And then we have 65% of tickets and 78% of cash is on the Tar Heels. And the line's moved nowhere. It opened up at a 4.5. It's moved. I mean, we've had a little bit of U-shaped line movement. It went down towards San Diego State. It's come back. The UNC Tar Heels finished 5th in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They went to 22-13 this year, 15-19-1 ATS, 16-18-1 over/under. On the flip side, the San Diego State Aztecs finished 4th in the Mountain West, 21-9 this year, 12-17 ATS, 14-14-1 over/under. Now, the Aztecs had their Mountain West run cut short in the first round this year against Boise State, which I believe went on to lose in the championship game of the Mountain West. So
Colorado State.
That. On the flip side, the Tar Heels, they opened up their ACC tournament with a 20-point win against Notre Dame. They beat Wake Forest, and then they lost to Duke without Cooper Flagg and without Brown, 2 of their best players on that team, which Duke ended up going on to win the ACC tournament. I think they go on to win the national championship as well. I know it's disgusting, but that's my pick this year, and I'm sticking to it. And for me, I think UNC gets exposed for a team that shouldn't have made the tournament today. One thing I forgot to mention as well is our number behind it as well, which we have the Tar Heels around a 3.5 in this game. So there's about a point of value here. I think I got 5 last night with the Aztecs. Yes, I got +5 and +175 for the Aztecs tonight. I'm on San Diego State in this one here. I've been saying this for a while. If North Carolina made the tournament, I was going to fade them in their first game, and that's it because I don't think they make it past that. However, if they do make it past that, we know how first 4 teams are in the round of 64, and Ole Miss can be a little bit of a vulnerable team, the team that these two teams are playing to go up against.
Yep.
I think, and who's the 6 on the other side? That Texas or Xavier
Illinois.
I don't know which one was more vulnerable, but I know one of those are gonna. I think
both of them lose.
I think if San Diego State wins, they make the round of 32. I think that I will take San Diego State against Ole Miss. But for me in this game, I'm on the Aztecs. I got +5 and +175. I had positive CLV on both my plays, so let's see how bad tonight's gonna end up.
I got UNC at -4.5 last night. So when did you bet the?
I got it at 10 o'clock last night on Bet365. Shopping around, it's a beautiful thing.
It's weird. Okay. So we both can get good numbers. I did it around the same time last night too.
Because I sniped a 5 at Bet365.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was the only 5 available.
Yeah, exactly. I have UNC. And this just feels like the team that everybody's. It's like it was the most controversial thing. Yes. They don't deserve to be in.
They don't
deserve to be in.
Mm-mm.
No, they're not. They shouldn't be in. Then they're not going to do anything, right? No, UNC is going to end up going to the Sweet 16. At least the Sweet 16. Like this is one of those cases that, and I kind of want to make another example. Florida in baseball last year. That was the controversial one. It was them versus College of Charleston. They put Florida in.
And they made
Florida made it to Omaha. UNC's going to make a run. Whether you like it or not, UNC's making a run. I have them to make the Sweet 16 at 425. I have them beating San Diego State. I think they beat Ole Miss. And I think they beat Iowa State. I think they fall to Michigan State. But watch out. I think UNC is going to make a deep run or a deep run for an 11 seed. So be careful. I like UNC in this one.
I think there's a better 11 seed out there. And
I mean, Xavier's going to be strong too. I have Drake losing.
I think VCU.
I think VCU loses to Wisconsin. But that's just me.
I think VCU loses to Tennessee. Is that right?
Oof, okay.
Right? It's Tennessee?
Something
yeah,
yes.
In the Wisconsin? Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I have them.
Once again, I'm gonna constantly just be pumping the the link into the chat. Join it. And by the way, I see 48 people watching on the Twitter. The link is on all the YouTube channels. So either go to Picks and Parleys, Winners and Whiners, or Earle Sports Bets. Go click on that link. We have 8 people in our group. We're trying to get more. So go ahead, quickly jump into that. UNC money line live bet instead of -205.
You think they get off to a slow start? If you think that, then maybe Aztecs first half.
Maybe. UNC is beating Iowa State. I can see that. Aztecs, no.
I actually don't have. I have Iowa State falling in the first round of Wilmington.
Texas Tech plays Wilmington.
Texas Tech. Who is Iowa State play?
Lipscomb.
No, okay, never mind.
Kansas is beating St. John's. I disagree. I have St. John's winning it all, and I have Kansas losing to Arkansas. All right, Nick. This will be the last game that I'm going to be involved in, and then I'm going to go help out, make sure everything else is ready to go because Destiny's sister and nephew and everybody's coming, so I'm going to help out with it.
Yep. So that's why we will be going, instead of hockey right now, we're going to talk quickly some baseball. As we have game 2 of the regular season here of the Tokyo series. The first game was this morning. I split out on those first 5. We have the Los Angeles Dodgers 1-0 this year, taking on the Chicago Cubs 0-1. It'll be Justin Steele taking on Roki Sasaki. Roki Sasaki making his debut in the MLB. And it's in Japan, where I believe he's very, very comfortable pitching. On the flip side, we have Justin Steele, who really turned into, or who he has been the ace of the staff for the last few years. Talk about consistency. The guy has pitched, now granted in 2022, his season was cut short 119. And last year he threw 134 and 2/3, but he's pitched anywhere between a 3 and a 3.2 ERA the last 3 years. He has been arguably the Cubs' best pitcher of the last few years. Shota could make a little bit of an argument this upcoming year because I think Shota and Justin Steele is one hell of a 1-2 punch.
It is.
The only thing I wish between one of those two is one of them threw from the opposite arm because they're both lefties at the top of your rotation. However, I don't think it matters too much. Let's talk about it. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. This line opened up at a 148, and it's actually moved towards the Dodgers in this one here. My bad, that was on the 10th. What did it reopen up at? Because on the 23rd of February, it was a -153. On the 12th of March, it was a 140. And then this morning, it reopened up around a 145 range. So the line has moved towards the Dodgers in this one here. Line opened up at an 8.5, -115. It's down to an 8 at -113. Kind of tells me Roki Sasaki pitches well in this one here. And that's not what I expect. That's not where I was looking to target this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. See if we have any. Do we not? Where is this Dodger game? It's for Wednesday. Oh, there it is. It just popped up. There we go. Where we have 71% of tickets, 78% of cash on the Dodgers. No surprise the line is moving towards them. Wow, 35% of tickets and 66% of cash on the under. So heavy, sharp money coming out on the under in this game. I might end up at another under for this matchup. And I was not expecting to do that because I want to, and I think now looking at it a little bit more, I think I know where I want to fade Sasaki first in America. Because if you're the Dodgers, could you have set up Roki Sasaki's debut any better? No. Get him as comfortable as possible in his home country where he pitched really well. I think he's going to take time to develop, though. He's not going to come into the league and be absolutely awesome right off the rip. His fastball shape has concerns, very velocity dependent. If he's throwing 100, he'll be fine. But sometimes he'll throw in the 96, 97 range, and major league hitters can hit him pretty hard. His changeup needs work, but that splitter is nasty. That's what you acquired him for, is that splitter. It is disgusting. It drops out of the zone, and you partner that up with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He could be not unhittable at times. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to go out and have a Shota Magano type of year, though. Mm-hmm. Like what Shota was last year or what Kodai Senga was in 2023. I don't think he's going to be one of those pitchers.
No.
I think he's going to take some time to develop because keep in mind, he's also a couple years younger than these guys, than a Shota Magana, than a Yoshinobu Yamamoto or a Kodai Senga. He's a couple years younger than those guys. And think of him this way, though. He's entering around the same time Shohei Ohtani did in his career. Mm-hmm. That's why he didn't sign a mega deal. He still needed, I think, 2 more years in Japan in order to sign a mega deal.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to do that. Tells me that, and I don't want to put this out on him, I think he's rushing to the major leagues for a reason. And I think within the next few years, TJ could be could be in the cards for him, just the way he throws.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to approach this game right now, and I'm glad I have all day to think about it. And I'll probably post it on Twitter. My first thoughts is I want to fade Sasaki. However, I don't want to fade Sasaki in Japan. Because I think very similar to the pitchers this morning, because Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitched really well. Shota Magana pitched really well. Ohtani had an RBI. Look for these Japan players to actually play really well here, and they're in front of their home crowd. So I think this is not the time to fade Shota Magana as I originally planned. And I may completely flip it and take the under and potentially Dodgers -1 in this one. I don't know yet. I don't know. But the Dodgers look a little bit more appealing, and the under does as well.
I wanted to take the Cubs to split it.
I could see that as well because we saw that with that last year with the Padres. I could definitely see that as well.
And if anything, the inexperience of Sasaki, I think, could be a big factor.
Yes.
Granted, he is pitching in Japan, which good for him. But I like this one. And pretty much when I first saw that there was going to be another Japan series, although last year was Korea.
Last year was Seoul, Korea.
Seoul, Korea. This year is in Japan. I saw it as it's going to split. And that's why I grabbed the Cubs the first game thinking, hey, they're going to eventually this series is going to split. So that's how it's going to be working out. I get plus money in both games. I'm profitable. I'm taking the Cubs again, plus 130, plus 135 area. So I'm gonna go Cubs.
Yeah, I can see Cubs as well. I feel bad deviating from my original plan, which I still think could happen. Game 1 stays under, game 2 goes over, Sasaki struggles. But the more and more I look at it, the markets are heavily disagreeing with me, and I'm not going to go against the markets this early in the season.
Okay.
I'll look to fade Sasaki in America.
Cubs. Yes, Cubs. Over.
I lean under.
I kind of lean under.
I want to go back to a first 500.
Even though last game was 4-1 and it was an under, I could see this one being an under too.
I kind of want to go right back to where I was this morning with that first 500. I do.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Fair.
Cubs first 5.
That would be the only way I look at the Cubs.
Otani over hits.
I can see that.
Long shot, Joe Ryan, AL Cy Young.
Mr. Quality Start himself. No, that's Bailey Ober. I mean, if the Minnesota Twins can live up to their expectations this year, yeah, that's a possibility for a long shot. I won't talk you off of long shots because you know how much I like long shots myself. But do I and it's starting already. No timetable for return for Rise Lewis. It sucks watching that guy continue to get hurt year after year after year after year after year.
It does.
I want to see a full year of Byron Buxton. I want to see a full year of Royce Lewis. I want to see a full year of Walker Jenkins and Manuel Rodriguez, which are coming up for the Minnesota Twins in their prospect field as well. I need a full season of Matt Wallner. That Twins lineup can mash. If only they can stay on the field.
Yep.
It's the same story every goddamn year with the Twins, and it's pissing me off.
Showtime, Shohei Otani over runs for him is minus 145. The juice is worth the squeeze. So you think he scores? That's fair. Drinks, juice. I got you. All right, Nick. I'm gonna go help out, make sure the rest of the apartment is clean. I'll let you start talking some hockey. Make sure you unmute yourself when I leave.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Join the bracket. Join the bracket challenge.
All right. There we go. All right. Let's get into the NHL, and then we'll head off for this card. We have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Ottawa Senators. The Senators are $1.35 favorites, total 5.5 in this game. Something's happening in Ottawa, and it's a beautiful thing for Sens fans. They've won 6 in a row. Don't look now, but they could be flirting potentially with not only a wild card spot, but potentially taking Toronto's 3 seed. I wouldn't talk anybody off of that. On the flip side, Montreal, they're coming off of a nice win in their last game. They beat the Florida Panthers 3-1. Which was a nice little bounce back after a 4-game road trip where they lost 3 out of 4 against Seattle, Calgary, and Edmonton. The only game they won was against Vancouver. And this is another spot. I mean, for me, I can only look Sens in this game. The Senators are bet on or no bet right now. I don't want to step in front of the Sens team. They're coming in off of a nice 4-2 win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. This would have to be Sens -1 or no bet. Because I see 135 over on Bovada, 135 over on ESPN Bet. This would be Ottawa or no bet for me, personally. That would be the lean in this spot. But is this one I'm going to force action on? Probably not. It would just be a lean at this moment towards the Ottawa Senators. I might add the Sens later. I'm not 100% sure, but it is Ottawa or no bet. Ottawa or no bet. See. Y'all like the Orioles win to teams win under? I lean that way, but I took a different approach to it because if they go under that win total, I think there's a good chance they miss the playoffs. I took plus 160, plus 165 for them to make to miss the playoffs. I went that route. I went Orioles no playoffs rather than Orioles under win total. The Sens beat the Habs 8 times in a row, but they've lost the last 2 of the Habs. Sens 8-2 in the last 10 versus Sens. There you go. Caulfield, anytime goal. Worth a look. Brady Tkachuk, the over 5.5. What's good, Nicholas Handy? We'll continue on, though. The Washington Capitals hosting the Detroit Red Wings. We have the Caps minus 175 favorites with a total of 6 in this game. Taking a look at this matchup here, it's an interesting Detroit Red Wings team that is completely fallen out of it. They did win their last game against Vegas 3-0. It was a terrible spot for Vegas, though. It was the last game of the road trip. It was another afternoon game. It was a back-to-back, I believe, a third game in 4 nights for Vegas. Everything added up against the Golden Knights in that game, which was a nice win, though, for the Detroit Red Wings. On the flip side, we have the Washington Capitals, who bounced back after getting shut out against the LA Kings with a 5-1 win over the Sharks. Probably should have taken their puck line in that game. It felt very obvious. And looking at this matchup here, it's the first game back after a road trip for a 3-game California road trip for the Capitals, but they had a few days off. So another spot where it's like, yeah, but no. I don't Sorry. I don't really trust the Red Wings in this game because this is just a team that's really struggling as of late. But on the flip side, do I trust do I want to lay this type of number with the Capitals off of a road trip? The answer is no. So it's a pass for me in this one. Back-to-back passes. Ovi, anytime goal boosted odds plus 120. That's ridiculous. But I can see it. We'll move on. The New York Islanders are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We have this game of pick'em with a total of 6 in this spot. Right off the rip, I mean, this is Islanders or no bet. This is an Islanders team that still has something to fight for. They're coming in off of a nice 4-2 win against the Florida Panthers, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They're 4 points behind the Rangers with 2 games in hand. So the Islanders aren't completely dead, mathematically speaking. I still don't think they're going to do anything this year. But they outplayed the Florida Panthers. Granted, that was a 3rd game in 4 nights for the Panthers, the second half of back-to-back, so they caught them in a good spot. The Pittsburgh Penguins continue their homestand. They've won 4 in a row. They'll get one more game on the homestand after this against Columbus. They've looked good recently. They beat Vegas, St. Louis, and New Jersey all at home. Their last game was on the 15th, so they've had the answers no on the last matchup, but the Islanders had won 4 in a row and 7 of 8 previously, or 7 of 9 previously. Yes. So this is an Islanders team that has enjoyed playing the Pittsburgh Penguins the last few seasons, and I do think that this would be Islanders or no play. It's just, do I want to back the Islanders after a win like that against Florida? Not particularly. They do head home after this for actually a very winnable homestand. They play Montreal, Calgary, and Columbus. So a very winnable homestand here coming up for the Islanders, which could very well watch this team is going to potentially squeak into a playoff spot. Just want to take a look at what the number is. Just for shits and giggles. What is the Islanders' number to make the playoffs? Because they get out of the 2 games both at home against the Stanley Cup teams from the last 2 years. And they get 3 points out of that, so that was impressive there. The Islanders are 4-1 to make the playoffs, so they're not dead. Wow, I thought that was going to be more towards the 10-1 range. Sorokin in the starting, Sorokin in the start tonight. I'll pull the trigger on it. I like the previous history for the Islanders against the Penguins. Yes, I understand the Penguins are playing well right now, but sign me up. Islanders minus 105 in this game. A Penguins team that they've done really well against in the past. A more desperate team because maybe after that win against Florida, they look at the standings and think, maybe. But yeah, I'm going to be on the Islanders here. I got minus 105 over on ESPN Bet. Crosby assists. Horvat assist. Montembeault confirmed for Habs. He's legit. Fair. What about the Nationals team? We're going to go over these. I'm still trying to figure out when we're going to go over these. I'm not as high on the Nationals as I've seen a lot of people say that they are going to be a scrappy team. Their bullpen sucks, and I'm not high on their rotation. Their team, I think that they are very similar to the Athletics. Now, granted, I'm a little higher on the Athletics than I am the Nationals, and just the division that the Athletics are in, I think plays out better for Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas, whatever they want to be called. I don't like the Nationals over because I think their division's tougher. I think that they are going to get torched. If you want to back Nationals this year, it would be team total overs because their pitching is going to be bad. So there's that. But yeah, get my day started here. Islanders money line. But we'll move on. The Flames and the Rangers. We have the Rangers minus 225, total 6 in this game. Let's take a look at this matchup here. The Rangers are coming in off of both these teams coming in off a bad loss last night for Calgary. That was with Wolf and Net. They were dominated 6-2 against the Toronto Maple Leafs, a third straight loss for the Calgary Flames. In a night where St. Louis didn't play. That was not the type of game that the Calgary Flames needed. Granted, it's the second half of back-to-back for them. Not a third game in 4 nights, though, because they last played on the 14th previous. The Rangers are coming in. This is the third game in 4 nights for them. They did play a back-to-back against Columbus. They beat them 4-0, and then they lost to Edmonton. I don't want to lay this type of number with the Rangers but I don't know if the Flames are worth backing at this number. The Flames, granted, they have a couple more games on this road trip. They were at Toronto last night. They are at MSG today. They go to Newark to play the Devils on the 20th, and then they finish off their road trip against the Islanders on the 22nd. And for me, in this one, it'd be fun to take a shot with the Calgary Flames. It's a big number, 2-1, plus 205 over on DraftKings, plus 210 over on Bovada. So, probably the risk reward is there for the Flames, but I don't like the spot. Maybe they come out pissed. Maybe this is Calgary first period. Before everything kind of settles. I'm going to move on that, actually. I really like that look. Calgary first period plus 165. I think this is a spot where they can show up early before fatigue sets in potentially with the back-to-back. And they could be pissed off after last night, the embarrassing effort that they had, losing 6-2. So, I'm going to take a shot with that first period money line in this one here. After that type of game, that's generally the way I think I want to start attacking teams on back-to-backs that I got beat bad the previous night, is maybe taking a shot with them in the first period. So, I'll take the Flames first period plus 165 in this one against the Rangers. I think that this is all I'm going to ask. I'm not going to ask for a full-on good performance for the Calgary Flames. Just give me the first period, though. First period plus 165 at the Flames in this one. This line is wide, but Vladar is ass. Fair. Rangers puck line. Panarin anytime goal. Miller point. Kadri point. Fair. We'll continue on. I wanted to fade the Ducks. Not at this number, though. Let's get into it. We have the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars. Minus 340 for the Stars. Have fun laying that type of number. I am definitely not doing that. I'm seeing minus 360s now. Plus 280 the other way with these Ducks. We have the Dallas Stars, they're off of back-to-back losses. 3 of the last 4. They've struggled on the road, and they've not looked good since getting Mikko Rantanen back in the lineup. The only game they won was against the Vancouver Canucks. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Now, granted, this is a team that is going to be just fine coming playoffs, and that first-round matchup between Dallas and Colorado is going to be awesome. The Anaheim Ducks are coming in off of an embarrassing performance in their last game. They get pumped 7-2 against the St. Louis Blues in that game. And they've played a lot of hockey. And this is something I warned people with the Anaheim Ducks, is I think potential regression is coming. However, at this number, I can only look Ducks. I mean, you want me to lay this type of number with the Stars? Not going to happen. I can get minus 120 for a first period puck line for the Ducks. It'd be Ducks first period, if anything. Just ask them to play a good first 20 minutes. Not a game I'm going to get involved with, though. This line is ridiculously wide. My plan going forward is potentially fading the Ducks. Granted, they head to Nashville after this, and they play Carolina and Boston at home. So I don't know how we're going to be able to fade them that well. But this is a Ducks team that needs some time off, because they look gassed right now, and it's finally caught up to them a little bit. So yeah, I think the Stars take care of business in this game. But is this one I need to get involved with? Hell no. If anything, it'd be maybe it's Ducks early, and maybe if the Ducks score early, then you take the Stars live. I think that's the best way to approach it. If this game is 1-0 Ducks, go ahead and take minus 110 or minus 115 on the Stars live. That would be the way to approach it. Flames team total over. Yeah, I would look towards that direction, because it's going to be Vladar in net. Rantanen anytime goal. Robertson anytime goal. The Stars are 7-3 the last 10 against the Ducks. They own them. I don't know if 7-3 is owning a team, but they play well against them. I think in order to own a team, you need to win, 8 of 10, 9 of 10, 10 of 10. Like that owning a team, I think, is winning at an 80% clip. 7-3, that's playing well against a team. I don't think that's owning them per se, though. We'll move on, though. We have the St. Louis Blues taking on the Nashville Predators. This game, minus 110 for the Blues, total 5.5. I'm interested in St. Louis in this game. I'm always interested in St. Louis right now, because they are playing phenomenal hockey. They've won 2 in a row, my bad. And they have won 4 of 6, and they've received points in 5 of 6. So this is a Blues team that's playing well. On the flip side, Nashville, they're off of back-to-back losses against the Ducks and against the Kings, where they've scored a combined 1 goal. Now they have won their last 2 home games, but that was against Chicago and Seattle. And they actually beat Winnipeg at home as well. And they do play well against their division at home. That's one thing to note with the Nashville Predators. But for me in this game, I'm going to keep backing the Blues. This is a Blues team that's playing really well right now, and a team that I think makes the playoffs. And I think they continue to play well here. St. Louis is minus 115. Yes, maybe I'm falling for a trap. So be it. I really like this spot for St. Louis to continue to play well. This Nashville team, off of back-to-back losses, maybe this is when they start to mail it in if they haven't already. So yeah, for me, minus 115 with the Blues over on Fanatics. I'm taking that in this game. I like St. Louis to keep it going. Ducks have won 1 of the last 8. Fair. What's good, Stop Geo? Well, never mind. I read the stats upside down. The Ducks have won 2 in a row versus the Stars, but still 7. Yeah, you're all good. Value on the Ducks. Yeah, I think there's value on the Ducks, but I mean, there's difference between having value on a side and actually betting a side. Let's get into this next matchup here. We have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Seattle Kraken. We have the Kraken 150 road favorites in this game with a total of 6 in this spot. Just a 1-800 gambler type of matchup here, really, is this one. Let's take a look at what these two teams have done as of late. Oh, there we go. Where the Blackhawks are on a 4-game losing streak. I think it's becoming less and less likely that they are going to come anywhere near this. What did I get for their point total this year? I think it was 73.5. All right, 73.5. Chicago, yeah, over 73.5. And they are at, 49 points. Yeah, they're not coming anywhere close to that. Unfortunately, I thought they were going to take a step up this year. They're not. And on the flip side, the Kraken, I had them over their point total, over 87.5. They ain't coming anywhere near that. They are at 63 points. Both these teams are going to need to go on crazy streaks for their totals to go anywhere close to overs for this year. 1-800-GAMBLER. Am I laying minus 150 on the road with the Kraken? No. Do I want the Blackhawks right now either? No. So simple pass here. I think there's better cards on the games on the card. Blues team total over? Yeah, I would look that in direction as well. I don't hate that whatsoever. Kraken puck line. All right. Yo. What's good, Joe Kryptonite? Kraken team total over. Yeah, I could see that as well. We have the Utah Hockey Club taking on the Edmonton Oilers. We have the Oilers minus 160 favorites with a total of 6 in this spot here. Utah in obviously in the playoff race right now. They are off of a win in their last game, a big win in Vancouver, a team that they are trying to chase, an absolute massive win there. And on the flip side, the Edmonton Oilers, they're coming off of back-to-back wins in New York, where they beat the Islanders and they beat the Rangers 2-1 in overtime against the Islanders, 3-1 in regulation against the Rangers. They had one day off and they travel all the way back to Edmonton. Utah was in Vancouver, so they didn't have much to travel. I think this is a tricky spot here for Edmonton. And when you look at teams, yes, the Oilers, they don't want to continue to slip. They are currently a point ahead of the Kings, but the Kings have a game in hand for that home ice advantage. And we have Utah, who, with the win over Vancouver, they're 2 points behind Vancouver, no games in hand. They are currently tied with the Calgary Flames, with the Flames having a game in hand. They are 2 points behind the Blues. And they have a game in hand on the Blues. This is a Utah team that is very much in the race, and look for desperate teams to play well down the stretch. Look for teams like Utah and St. Louis to play well down the stretch. And I'm going to look to back Utah in this game, getting a nice number. I think this is a tricky spot for the Oilers back after the road trip. They had a day off, but that was a travel day. So I think this could be a little bit of a slow start for them here. I'm going to take a shot with Utah. I got plus 135 over on ESPN Bet. Give me the Hockey Club here to take this game outright at plus 135 odds in this one. I think that this is a good spot, or not a good spot for Utah, but a bad spot for Edmonton. So, yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll take the Hockey Club in this one. Logan Cooley anytime goal. Don't hate that whatsoever. But we will advance on to the last game here, which I will bet probably. We have the Winnipeg Jets and the Vancouver Canucks. The Jets are minus 155 road favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. I 100% agree with the Jets being a decent sized road favorite in this game, where I'm kind of looking at the Jets on the -1 line. Let's talk about it. We have Vancouver coming in off of a loss to snap a 2-game winning streak against Calgary and Chicago. They lose to the Utah Hockey Club, kind of costly loss there. And now this will be the third game in 4 nights with them. Granted, all of them at home, so they had a day off yesterday. On the flip side, the last game for the Winnipeg Jets, it was an overtime game against the Seattle Kraken. They had a day off while heading to Vancouver. I don't think they played particularly well against the Kraken in that last game with an overtime win. And I think that they're going to look to play better in this matchup here. And I'm getting even money for this here, minus 160, plus 160 for the money line, puck line split in this one here. I'm going to look towards Winnipeg in this game to close out my NHL card at even money here. Just continuing to fade the Canucks for me really is a big factor in this. And then Winnipeg off of a lackluster performance in their last game as well. Yeah, I'll look for the Jets to get the win here, cover the -1 line. So, yeah, I'm on Winnipeg -1, even money against the Vancouver Canucks. Under 6, maybe. You're looking at the Edmonton game. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Kyle Connor, anytime goal. Josh Morrissey assists. Yeah. Damn, I like the Nukes. I'm very low on the Canucks right now. I have them to miss the playoffs at plus 170. and I've been fading them the last few games, so that's just me though. But yeah, the Canucks have been a fade for me going forward. But that is everything for today's card. If you guys have not already, join the bracket challenge. I know we keep harping at this, but if you guys have not already, hop into the challenge. The link has been posted multiple times in the chat. It's down in the description below as well. And if you guys have not already, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we are live here at ESB, which is every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll head back to the chat, and then we will head on out. Jets puck line, Jets team total over. Yeah, that would be my lead in this one there. But that is everything for this one. Want to thank you guys as always for watching. We'll catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, everyone.